Every replay, every stand-up fight, nothing together on race night. In the night that the legends sleep, every underdog, every winning streak. From hometown heroes to the final line, we hold on till the end of the fight. When the string goes down, the echoes remain. Another chapter written in speed and fame. If you live for the more than the racing truth, virtual grip network. That's you. Sign of faith, but the passion stays. Another race in the broadcast haze till the lights go green and the mics ignite. Virtual grip network grips the night.
Submitted for your approval, a race schedule, 2 events completed, celebrating 2 different winners, neither winner atop the point championship. Brendan Myers has 56 career BRL late model starts. Of those starts, he finishes in the top 5 a third of the time. But of those starts, he's yet to win. But coming into round 3, Myers is the points leader, having posted a 3rd and a 5th. Round 1 winner Ruben Altice is just a point back of Myers, and thanks to the inverse grid rule, should start ahead of him tonight. But every mind is haunted, every set of eyes focused on James Lowe. Despite his second round win, the 2-time and defending champion is buried 6 places deep in the points, with a poor grid spot lurking when he grids up tonight for the green flag. There are no shortages of storylines. There will be no shortage of dramatic action ahead. So pull the lever on the lazy boy and settle in for the excitement that is simulated short track racing, streaming cyberspace into your place from Five Flags Speedway. It's the Virtual Grip Network's 3rd round coverage of the Bootleg Racing League Late Model Invitational Series. It's season 33. Let me tell you, a warm hello and welcome here on Saturday night, January 24th, 2026. From the state that gave us the world hanging Chad, a warm Floridian hello and welcome on this Saturday night, January 31st, 2026. Josh Granny Hips Buckley joining yours truly, Bill. I cannot read tonight. Soup's on high up on the VGN broadcast booth to bring you our bird's eye view. Replay Ryan Senator. Turn the knobs and pushing the sliders. One more sentence to go before I can get back to doing this ad lib. GH, short tracks are no stranger to you. What is Five Flags going to be like tonight?
I think it's going to be a pretty interesting race, just watching these guys in practice. I don't know if there's going to be a second lane that kind of worked its way in here. Tire wear will be a thing definitely in the long run for these guys. And something I'm seeing a lot is just to try to stay off that outside wall, getting a little tight and just keep the car clean. You don't want to be damaging that right front too much here tonight. Other than that, should be an interesting race. It's just going to be about trying to get to the bottom and just getting the laps done and just see if you can have a clean nose at the end.
Practice going on right now, and of course the rules package for a BRL event means there is no qualifying. The grid is inverted from the previous result. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the points. Long overdue for his first BRL late model win is Brendan Myers. An 8th last time out will find the quiet man Ruben Altice in a favorable starting position. Powering through the final corner kerfuffle in the season opener to finish second in the race was Adam Shane. The same kerfuffle robbed Chris Worrell of a win. James Lowe's coming off a win at Martinsville. The Adelaide Blade, Ed Foster, is serious about this campaign. Todd Liston is hunting his first podium of the season. Nobody has collected more incident points in the top 10 than Chris Davis, and I don't think that Mr. Aggressive is here tonight. And for Lowell Jewell, well, it's Gretzky. He's posted a pair of 9th place finishes in his first 2 starts. All right, all the business is out of the way. Let's quickly run through the rules of this race. We're going 100 laps. You have to finish on the same tires you start with. Big Boy Racing, no fast repairs. You break it, you bought it. There are green, white checkers and the lucky dog. Glad you're with us. This and 8 more before we crown another champion in the Bootleg Racing League. Practice is done. I can tell you this, Chris Worrell was the fastest out there, the rookie. He's been really impressive this season and could be a force tonight. Now, he finished second in the last race, so he's going to be grid a little farther back. He's on the outside line, and there's 2 drivers that are not here that are scheduled to be on that outside line. So Worrell's going to get slid up a little bit when we read the starting order for you. Not so lucky for James Lowe. Everybody who finished in an odd position last week is back. So indeed, Lowe will be starting way back in 11th position. With that said, let's give you the starting lineup. I'll take the first row. It is the kingpin, Joe Segala. He's going to be flanked by Todd Liston.
And starting in third is going to be Kurt Smith, and to his outside is Lowell Jewell.
We talked about this. Ruben Altice in 5th starting position. He sits second in the points, only 1 back of Meyer. Adam Shane will be outside of him.
And in 7th, you're going to have Brendan Myers, and to his outside is going to be Ed Foster.
Jeffrey Harden will be going in 9th with Chris Worrell in 10th.
And 11th, you're going to have, as we were talking about, James Lowe, and to his outside is John Wilson.
Now you get the guys who finished farther back last week. In the Bakersfield spot, it's Mike Holloway. He's going to be inside of the caveman, Trey Bloom.
And 15th, you're going to have Benny Ellison. To the outside is Tom Hilbert.
Thomas, the little brother. Older brother is Steve. He'll be starting in 17th with the Racing Rev, the Lipper, Chris Hayslip in 18th.
And 19th, you're going to have Kyle Feemster, and to his outside is Kenny Allen.
Watch out for Feemster. He is quick. He's got a long way to go. And then the final driver hitting blackjack is Mario Valente. Good to see Mario racing with us. Okay, the parade lap is done. We'll get this underway. Weather looks good. We race here in the daytime, so tires may be a little more of an issue under the Floridian sun. We'll see how that plays out. The perfectly mesmerizing Josie Kirkland pulls the pace car down in, turns control of the field over to the kingpin, Joe Segala. You know what to do. Gather up the chickens, take cover around the cows, because the horses are out of the barn. And it is indeed Joe Segala leading the stampede through 1 and 2, down the backstretch. Liston stuck on the outside. Cucumber Kurt Smith. He's going to get that 3rd position, move him up into 2nd as Liston continues to be pinned out there. Josh, look at the inside line work.
Yeah, no, it's basically one of those things, especially early in the run. You want to make sure you're on the bottom as quick as you can and just start making those passes. Just make sure you're on the rear end of the car in front of you. Do not allow those guys on the high end to try to sneak down in there.
And they are doing just that. The inside line is nose to tail. Nowhere for Liston, nowhere for Lowell Jewell, nowhere for Adam Shane to go. The inside line continues to roll. There is a break after Chris Worrell. Let's see how that works. Worrell now goes through. Liston looking for anywhere to get in there. Watch. And now Shane tucks down in front of the Adelaide Blade, Ed Foster. Finally an opening. No such luck so far for Liston and Jewell.
Yeah, it's going to be frustrating to be stuck on the outside right here. If I were Lowell right now, I'd be coming down and filling that hole. I'd be watching that rear view mirror. As you see, the 87 tried to think about coming down in front of Lowell and thought better of it at the last second.
You know what's interesting? It's just like being on the freeway. The last car in line on the outside was first to get to the hole, so Todd Liston had to wait to the hole to get to them. Shane was able to tuck down, and then Jewel, and finally the hole got to Liston, and he was able to get down, but he lost positions to the guys who were behind him on the outside line.
Yeah, that's the most frustrating thing when you're stuck on the outside, is that when you're getting freight train like that, you're starting to get impatient, and you're also trying to think about wearing your tires being stuck on the outside that much.
All this going on behind Joe Segala. He's been out front for 7 laps, but he is being pestered by Kurt Smith. Smith looking high, looking low. Now Segala's a veteran. Watch Joe sacrifice speed so he can keep that inside line tight.
Yeah, you see Smith sitting there, and he got a little tight coming out of that corner. He's just trying to push it a little bit harder, get a little more speed out of it, and just he's getting tight. You want to be careful not to put that right front of in the wall.
Hey, Brandy, your husband just made a move. We're talking about Jeffrey Hart. Got to the inside of Brendan Myers. Myers knows it's a long way, doesn't want to race too hard early. But look, here comes your... Well, he's not the point leader. I did a little bit of forecasting there. James Lowe gets to the inside of Brendan Meyer. And somehow, James Lowe, who started behind Whirl, is now ahead of Whirl.
Yeah, he's showing some pretty good pace here, and it's definitely something you want to keep an eye on as he creeps through the field tonight, especially if you're the leader.
Harden up 5 spots, Lowe up 6. He had the benefit of starting on that inside line, and maybe that's how it worked for him. How long can the Kingpin stay out in front? There's a 2-wide battle we're looking at. Beamster gets the best as he gets to the inside of Steve Hilbert. Hilbert now is going to lose another spot, as that is Kenny Allen. Papa Kenny going underneath. Hilbert stuck on top. Let's bring in the Canadian Goose as well.
Yeah, it's going to be the same thing where he's going to kind of get freight train here and be stuck to the outside, and cars just keep piling in under him, and he's just not getting that break.
Jeffrey Harden got really loose. He did not go around. He was late getting into the corner. Brendan Myers was there, and we stayed green. Nice save from both of those guys.
Yeah, big thing for him right now is just trying to make sure he didn't heat up his tires doing that little bit of a slide there.
He lost spots not only to Myers, but then he lost a spot to Shane, to Jewel, to Liston, and the Adelaide Blade. Oh, a battle up front. Smith has been waiting. He now is going to try to work the top. Oh, this is unusual for Kurt Smith. He lost patience. This is a gallant effort, but if this doesn't work, Granny Hips, it's going to be a steep price to pay.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by trying to take the outside there, but maybe he just thought, maybe he knows something that we don't yet. If he can try to pin, the 81 as tight as he can to the bottom, might be able to get him where he has to lift a little bit and just get the momentum off the corner. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. But like you're saying, if he's out there too long, he's going to start getting freight train, just like we've been watching all night.
Is there a steeper tire price to pay for the guy on the outside compared to the guy on the inside?
I'm not 100% on that with this car, but I would think that's going to be the case. But it's just it's going to be the real wear. My concern is the right front tire.
Okay, now we got a very important battle. This is a battle for fourth. This is the rookie, Chris Worrell, against the veteran, James Lowe. These might be the two most talented drivers. They are right now in the popcorn position, looking at the show going on in front of them. That is Ruben Altice now has got underneath Kurt Smith, as we feared. Watch out of the 06, as he may take an opportunity. You don't get many opportunities to pass James Lowe, and if he's bound up here, that may be the calling to strike.
Yeah, really interesting. I was just watching him really take a really low entry into that last corner to try to see if he can peek under James Lowe, and it just I wasn't sure if that was going to work out. It looks like he backed out of it.
Yeah, you'll never get a chance for James Lowe to race slower than when he's got a side-by-side battle in front of him. How about Kurt Smith? Boy, he is just doing his best to work hard. I think he thought that even the outside line, I'm going to be faster than Segala, and he almost got it done. Now he's struggling.
Yeah, and the longer he's up there, the worse it's going to get. As you can see now, Lowe's getting under him, and then you're probably going to see the 06 try to make a move as well if he can. But if I were Kurt Smith right now, I'd be looking out my rear view, watching that gap in front of the 06 and try to fill it.
Perhaps maybe Smith lost patience the same way that Ruben Altice has got to worry right now. He's having a great run in second, but Josh, unfortunately, he's in second, an even position. If a caution were to come out, he'd have to worry about getting freight trained like all those other guys did.
Yeah, it's always the kind of the gamble when you're sitting in, second place, things like that. It's just you're going to hope a caution doesn't come out, and hopefully by the time that a caution does come out, you've already made the move to take the lead.
Okay, World, did not Lana end up with the cushion of Kurt Smith between him and James Lowe? The 06 is working hard. Kurt, my goodness, why don't you just surrender, give up the ghost, and tuck back in there into fifth? That's where you're going to end up anyway, and maybe you might save a little bit more. He is not going to do it, and boy, he continues to fight even more. Finally, I'm in a spot for you, Kurt. Clear.
Yeah, it's something to definitely keep an eye and pay attention to. That is what we just saw Kurt Smith do. Is that going to come to, hurt him later in the run as these tires wear?
Nobody is a bigger fan than Joe Segala than the drivers racing in 5th and 6th. That's Brendan Myers and Adam Shane. The slow pace from Segala might allow them to get up there. Look what has happened to Kurt Smith. I think he's cooked.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I was thinking. Just that all that time on the outside and really trying to push it. He's definitely chewed up the tires a little more than everybody else. So you're going to probably see him pay for it now.
Now, I've learned from working alongside the great J.R. Shepard the difference between tires between like these late models, super late models, and then the modified. Correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, but in the modifieds, it's more about tire temperature. The tires can come back to you. But what I understand is once you hurt your tires, once you make them upset in these late models, it's hard to have them come back.
Yeah, that's pretty much the case here. It's you got to be aware of what you're doing, the abuse that you're taking on the tire, because it's not that very forgiving in the long run. So if you wear it early, you're going to pay for it the rest of the race.
We apologize for focusing all the attention up front, but this really is where the action is right now. Lowell Jewell finally got underneath Ruben Altice. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Altice works hard like Kurt Smith did, or if he just surrenders. He'd have to give up both second and third, drop into fourth spot. Boy, the kingpin out there just tempting James Lowe.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting now to see someone else trying to fight as hard as they are on the outside as we get a caution.
Oh, it's going to be interesting as the caution comes out. How will iRacing score second? It looks like this one involves the 36 of Jeffrey Hart. Oh, and a big mess in front of him.
Yeah, from that, it looks like something happened to the 11 ahead of him that I did not see, but it just caused everybody to kind of pile up. They didn't see it coming around that corner.
It started way up with the 11. It was Adam Shane out of corner 4. You see him gets into it. The boss man, Lowell Jewell, T-bones Myers, the point leader.
Yeah, that's just Shane getting in a lot harder into the corner than the 11 there, and just unfortunately getting to the rear of the 11. With these cars, with this nose, it's a big nose, and it doesn't take a lot to spin the car in front around. You just lift it up a little bit with how low these noses are.
Gonna look at it one more time. On board with Feemster. Oh my goodness! And he ducks that. He gets turned by the blade, and then they all pile in. Getting the worst of it is Brendan Myers. My dad used to tell me they're not going to be able to bury that boy in a Jewish cemetery because he just got tattooed. With that said, Myers is still out there. Let's go ahead and dial up the 11 and see if we can talk to him. Brendan, it's Soup up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Soup, how's it going?
Looks like you got T-bone there, but you're going to stay out. They get you between the front and the rear wheels?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's driving okay, it seems like, and I don't want to give up the track position right now, so I'm going to give it a go, and hopefully it drives okay and I can stay out here.
Yeah, it looks like iRacing has put you in an odd position, so I guess that's a good thing. You do not want to be on the outside line, right?
Yeah, it seems like it's pretty hard on the outside right now. My main strategy right now is just trying to keep the tires safe. I'm worried that the tires might be an issue towards the end here, so trying to keep some tires left for it.
All right, they're doubling up. Go get you.
Thanks, guys.
You know, Josh, that explained that Myers, he was racing up front and then we saw him foul back. He could be worried about that, saving stuff. Sounded like he was trying to be fast at the end.
Yeah, it's always been my concern with these cars is just the fall off, and you've seen the right fronts blow before, so I'm just curious on that.
All right, well, we talked about how iRacing would score second position. They gave it to Ruben Altice. The good news is they scored him in second. The bad news is they scored him on the outside line. Here comes Jay Lowe. I think maybe the cold tires got the best of Segala, and James Lowe was able to get it done. And now, the cream of the crop, the fastest two drivers, the drivers we think are going to be side by side for the championship come 8 races from now, James Lowe and Chris Worrell, all the way up to first and second.
Yeah, there's probably no one better than Lowe with, getting to the lead, but then it's the big thing now is that he's got the lead. Is anybody going to be able to track him down and make the move to pass him?
It took him 40 laps to get there. Worrell is quick. Now, Lowe and Worrell are teammates. They are very close. Segala, who led so many laps early, after 37 laps out front, the bloom is off the rose. He's stuck on the outside. Kurt Smith finally having some fun racing side by side in the preferred position. He's going to get that done. And here comes Todd Liston. Brendan Myers, we talked to him. He said the car, I think, was okay. It looks to be racing all right in the 11. Not quite at halfway yet. Still a long way to go. And when these tires fall off, Josh, they go off a cliff. We've seen guys not be able to finish races because they run out of tire.
Yeah, no, it definitely gets pretty difficult to drive as you see some of these guys, like I've mentioned it before, is getting tight off the corner. And as these tires wear more and more, it's going to get harder and harder as that car tries to slide up towards the wall, and you just do not want to hit that wall. You damage the right front, it makes it even worse. So
we saw the blade, Ed Foster getting the best of Papa Kenny Allen. Driver who's having a nice run. Can we give a little screen time to car number 45? Electric Boots, Benny Ellison. Racing behind Lowell Jewell. Benny up 5 spots. Adam Shane getting loose as he tries to get to the inside of Joe Segala. You see Segala in that number 81 on the outside.
Gotta say, 81 is dropping like a rock. It's probably getting more and more frustrated as that freight train we keep talking about seems to be coming into play again.
Boy, they get together and there's no caution. Everybody stays straight. But what that's going to do, the more horseplay going along in the mid-pack when they lose time like that, that's going to bring lap traffic into play, something that James Lowe may have to deal with when we get closer to the checkered flag, assuming we can stay green.
Yeah, after just looking at what happened there, I'm really surprised there was no caution on that one. There's a few cars involved in that.
The yes and no for the caution flag from the automated iRacing race stewards is as much art as it is science. Now the drivers begin to string out. That's Ellison again, pestering Lowell Jewell. He loses a lot of momentum, gets up. Are there marbles here to worry about, Josh?
Oh, absolutely. You can see, if you can take a look up to the outside, you see the little black specks. They're definitely up there. As you just saw the 45 up in them, and he's losing traction real bad, as you can see. He was drifting all the way up the track.
We started with 21 drivers. We have 17 still on the lead lap. The Canadian Goose in the pits right now. 1 lap down is the Racing Res, Chris Lippert. He's still out there. 4 laps down is Mike Holloway. Kenny Allen has called it a night.
Yeah, Ken Allen was involved in that little wreck that didn't bring out a caution. I believe he put it right onto pit road after that.
So we've passed the halfway point. Drivers to watch is the 11. How much does he have? He was up front, and then you saw him obviously, conspicuously start to slow down. We talked to him during the break. Now his car's been T-boned, but he still seems to be running well. Look for him to be fast at the end. There are some drivers that are notorious for being good at the end. Ruben Altice, one of them, and Kurt Smith. Although Kurt raced a little harder than he likes to when he was stuck on the outside for so many laps.
Yeah, he's definitely, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little surprised that he's able to stay where he's at. I thought, with the amount that he was on the outside, really wearing down those tires, that I thought he was going to be, like a parachute coming out of the back of that. But he's doing a really good job sitting in fourth.
Director, let's give some love to car number 32 in 9th position. I think about to be 8th as he's working on the back of the Kingpin, Joe Segala. This is Trey Bloom. Started in 14th, has knocked off 6 spots. And I think he's going to get under here, hopefully simply. Segala's going to make it hard on him. That might be the best battle on the track right now. Things are settling down. Granny Hips, this is getting the flavor of going green the whole way. They're strung out. Only a few battles out there. Everyone getting in a rhythm.
Yeah, I mean, when you get everybody, strung out like this, it's pretty much how these will go, especially with the, the group of drivers that, this league has. You definitely would it is definitely in the cards for them to do it, but all it takes is, one mistake, one corner, push a little hard into another guy, and, cautions may breed cautions. You never know.
Which, of course, why we here at VGN recommend that you get your caution spayed and neutered. Pass made there by Bloom. We figured that was going to happen. Segala now dropping back into 9th spot. Nope, let's call it 8th. Another battle. The Blade working underneath the boss man. Of course, Ed Foster racing out of Australia. It's Saturday night here in the United States. I think it's somewhere like Wednesday morning in Australia right now. Working on the back of James Lowe. I'm sorry, Lowell Jewell. Brendan Myers now on the inside of Todd Liston. I think Myers has heard the supper bell and it's time to go to dinner. He's coming.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Myers right now. I definitely, after being involved in that incident, I did not see him being able to track his way back up through the field, but he's doing a great job right now.
Watch out for Myers in the 11 and the Caveman in the 32. I think both of those guys have been taking it easy, especially the 32. We know how hard Kurt Smith has worked. Oh, Ruben Altice gets really loose coming out of corner number 2. I've watched the Quiet Man race lap after lap, and he doesn't make a mistake like that unless his car is out of rubber, and he's struggling. I think there goes Myers and there goes Bloom.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was talking about earlier. Is just, you got to watch with, these cars getting tight on exit, and that's exactly what happened to him. You see him really crank the wheel to stay off that wall.
Why should we keep watching, Soup? You're probably asking. 67 laps in. It looks like it's all James Lowe. Well, you just watch these tires go away right now. Side-by-side battle. We thought the caveman was going to be good. There he is, hailing out of Montana. When he was young, he did some research as a scientist, living in the caves. He's the spelunker. He gets to the inside of Brendan Myers. Move Trey Bloom up to 5th.
Yeah, I saw Trey kind of lurking behind him for a few laps and was just curious when he was going to finally make the move, and he definitely made it stick there.
Boy, there are drivers who are clearly have good cars left, drivers who do not. Ruben Altice, put a fork in them, slice them open, put on some butter, cheese, chives, some sour cream, because he's cooked. As Adelaide Blade, Ed Foster goes by him.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've definitely thought about, you know, especially with these 100-lap runs, is just try to take care of your stuff early. You want to have something at the end, and just sometimes, and this is exactly one of those, it's just, you know, you thought you were going fine, and then you realize you were really burning your stuff up more than you thought.
We've been watching him. This is Electric Boots, Benny Ellison. We saw him get underneath. Now we go a little bit farther up. He's marching. He is Trey Bloom. He gets another spot.
Yeah, I see Smith, he got a little tight in that, and he actually clipped the outside wall on that last lap and was able to let Trey go by there.
All right, if you are a Trey Bloom fan, well, hopefully you signed up for his fan club because it's wonderful. But right now, you got to be happy. It looks like the car is fast, and he's sitting in an odd position. If there were a caution, he could make up all that real estate between him and James Lowe. He'd line up right behind him with a good car. That could be exciting if we get the caution that the caveman needs.
Yeah, it's definitely, there is a big gap in between him and second place, which it looks like he's actually closing in on. But yeah, definitely in the position he's in, you're kind of hoping there's going to be a caution coming out.
Tip of the hat to the Canadian Goose, who flew high and let the caveman go underneath him. Let's look at the 11, Brendan Myers. Now he's working on Smith. Tip of the hat to Smith. He lasted a lot longer than I thought he would. Certainly, Ruben Altice ran out of stuff a few laps before he did. So move Brendan Myers now up one more spot into 4th. Keep in mind, he's your points leader. He's looking to get another good points night.
Yeah, if he could just stay where he's at, if I were him, I'd be completely content with that, especially after being involved in that wreck earlier. To be sitting where he's at, I would not be complaining about it.
We're looking there at Trey Bloom, who is just gobbling up the gap between him and Chris Worrell. Now, we know Worrell is fast, but I still think there's a bit of a learning curve for the 06, as he tends not to be as competitive at the end of the race as he is early. I think he worked really hard to come from 10th, and look at this. Here goes Trey Bloom. He's just clicking off. It's got to be fun for the caveman.
I'm honestly really impressed with Bloom right now. Just the speed that he's got right now, the way he was just able to really track down Worrell and just pass him like that, I'm really impressed. The question is, by the time, if he does get the low, is there going to be enough time left, and did he use his stuff up trying to get there?
They come around working lap number 81. Coming around, maybe lap number 82 will be the magic lap. We'll work out the bugs here. Hey! Is it? It's still not playing. Are we good? Oh, it's playing. If you're thinking about winning, get the mirror ball spinning, grip the groove, make your move. Get on your dancing shoes. You know what time it is? It's time. Hit the poster. The boogie. That needs a little polish. All right. Our contract with The Bootleg Racing League means we must put the camera on the leader every so often. Aunt Mary Alice, here he is. I'm sorry he doesn't get as much screen time as the rest of the guys, but he's been out in front for 45 laps. Not a whole lot going on. We're talking about James Lowe looking to make it 2 in a row. Now our director will find something more exciting to look at, and then we'll tell you what it is. Oh, there you go. That's Todd Liston. Gets the best of Joe Segala. Electric boots. Benny Ellison getting one more. Nice run from Ellison. And Brendan Myers. This is how do you win a championship? You do this. You get yourself good points nights, and that's what Brendan Myers is doing. Maybe doesn't have the talent, doesn't have the resume, doesn't have the pedigree of James Lowe, but what he's doing, 3rd place, points, points, points. You do that 11 times, you sneak yourself into a championship.
Yeah, it's a really impressive run that he's got going right now. Who would have ever thought that he was involved in a wreck? You look at that car sitting in 3rd place, you would have never thought that he was involved in a wreck earlier.
Oh, we saw it from Ruben Altice earlier. Let's look at the 06. This is Chris Worrell. Boy, the laps cannot tick away fast enough for him. Ed Foster now up into 4th. We got confirmed blown right fronts. Hardin, Altice, and Tom Hilbert.
Yeah, it's always my concern with these cars is just if you're going to chew up that right front way too much, and obviously where you do not get an extra set of tires, obviously you got to be aware of that, and it's a matter of time with these cars sometimes.
This is what is so amazing about James Lowe, that he can be so fast and still manage to not burn up the tires. I guess the reason that he's so fast might be because he's so smooth.
Yeah, it's definitely when you can figure out how to run these cars and, really preserve the tires and still get speed out of it, you definitely figure something out. And obviously James Lowe has got it going.
Riding on board with electric boots right now. Oh, sorry, it's Kyle Feemster, not Benny Ellison. Feemster looking at up. Well, sometimes you're cooked and sometimes you're burnt. It's pearl. Look at that. That's the blade. Ed Foster getting underneath Brendan Myers.
Now, this is going to be one of those positions where, drivers start seeing other drivers, pit, with the tire wear issues. You're going to see people start to get really nervous with, 6 laps to go here.
I'm watching a lot of drivers trying to put in lap, just trying to limp around.
Yeah, if I were the drivers that are on the track, I'd be backing up my corners for sure, just for that little bit of fear that you'll be the next one blowing a right front.
Now we see guys who've had tires blown. Can you get back out there and limp around? Will iRacing let you do that, Josh?
No, it won't. It actually gives you what we call an iRacing, a meatball flag that you have to serve. It's basically going in for repairs, and obviously where you can't get an extra set of tires, it won't let you come back out.
Another right going. That one was blown by one more time. Kurt Smith. Boy. Why should you watch? Working lap number 98 is James Lowe. Will his right hold? Has he abused it? Kurt Smith on 3 wheels. Lets him go underneath. James Lowe now working lap number 99. 8 corners to go. He's got 4 tires to get there. He's got lap cars in front of him. That's Todd Liston and the 23 of Marino Valente. How about that on the lead lap inside the top 10? Marino's going to do everything he can to finish this race, getting the white flag. He won last week. He had a rough time in the season opener. We're talking about James Lowe. 2 corners to go. Will his tires hang on? He's out of the 4th corner. He can limp it home from here. 2 in a row for James Lowe. The caveman, Trey Bloom, with a great run. 4 seconds behind him. And the Adelaide Blade, Ed Foster, going from 8th to 3rd. Ooh, that was a fun one. 9 cars finishing on the lead lap. In 13th position, the man who started on the pole this race, Joe Segala. He'll start on the pole next round. We'll take a short break. We'll come back, run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. You're watching the Virtual Grip Network. From Five Flags Speedway, it's the Virtual Grip Network's third round coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's late model Invitational Series. How many seasons have they run? Well, this is the 33rd edition. The results are in. Let's give them to you right now. He started in 11th. It took him just till lap 38 to get to the front. He led the last 62. We're talking about James Lowe looking for his third championship. It's a good points night for him. Trey Bloom, very impressive. Patient and had a lot to go. Maybe a late caution. Is it sacrilege to think that he might have had something for Lowe? I don't know. He'll settle for second. Ed Foster made a late pass on Brendan Myers to deny Myers the interview spot. Foster will take third. Myers gets fourth. Kyle Feemster, what a good run from him. Started in 19th, goes all the way up to 5th. Lowell Jewell in 6th. The Electric Boots, Benny Ellison goes in 7th position. All these guys with good results basically got them because they were able to finish the race, including Marino Valente, 21st, last place to 9th. And then the last car with 4 tires at the end was Todd Liston, who gets that 9th position. 1 car down is Kurt Smith in 10th. Partner?
11th place, you're going to have Chris Hazlip. 12th is Chris Worrell. 13th is Joe Segala. 14th, Steve Hilbert. 15th, Jeffrey Harden. 16th, John Wilson. 17th, Tom Hilbert. 18th, Ruben Altice. 19th was Mike Holloway. And 20th was Adam Shane.
All those guys we mentioned from Smith on down, we saw most of them racing up front. Chris Smith was up front. Worrell was up front. Segala led several laps. It was when Hardin was making a charge through the field, and they just paid the price later. Again, Joe Segala in the Baker's dozen spot, scheduled to start on the pole next round. Let's go ahead and talk to our race winner. It is James Lowe. We'll dial him up. Let me know when he's in the booth because I can't hear here. Okay, James, it's Soup. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Soup.
All right. Well, let's start at the end. You look like you were in pretty good shape. How much tire did you have left?
It was getting low, but I think compared to everybody else, I was pretty good.
Okay. Are you fast because you're so smooth and that's why the tires last? We cannot figure out how it's doable. You want to give your secret away? Is there a magic formula?
No, not really. I just go in slow and come out, nice and straight. I think that's the secret. If they play around with their offsets and things with their setups, they could probably figure it out.
Must have been nice. All right, thanks for the clue. I caught that. Must have been nice to start on that inside line. It was really moving early. That had to be kind of fun.
Yeah, man, it's always an advantage to, start on the inside. In most cases, sometimes the outside purges ahead there, but tonight it was the place to be. And then that one caution fell when I was racing Ruben, and the iRacing gods gave Ruben second, so it allowed me to start third and on the inside there, and I was able to take advantage of it and get out in the lead and kind of just ride off and take it easy.
Okay, we'll get to our fan favorite segment. This one comes in from Mary from El Segundo. This is Get to Know James Lowe. The question is, Mary, I think we asked him this question already. All right, we'll do it again. Favorite way for James Lowe to eat an orange?
Probably in some orange juice.
Orange juice. Squeeze it into juice. All right. Well done, James. We'll see you down the road.
Appreciate it, Sue. I'd like to thank Mary Alice for watching as always. You guys for broadcasting. Lowell for putting all this on. And the guys, again, second night in a row. Great race. Nice long green flag run.
Yes, indeed. We'll see you when we go to next week. James Lowe, your race winner. Partner, you get to talk to Trey Bloom.
Yeah, finished in second place is Trey Bloom. Trey, you got a copy?
Hey, I do, yep.
Man, tell me on what your thought process was. I don't know if it was how you were doing it, but you were really staying back for early in the race, and then you just came on at the end. Was there a strategy involved with that, or?
Maybe a little bit at first. I started 14th, so I was on the outside. I kind of raced on the outside for a little bit, and I was like, this is probably heating the tires too much, so I just kind of tried to get back in line where I could. I don't even know where. I think I was down to 19th or something like that. And then that one caution kind of re-ragged things up, and then, I don't know, I guess I just like the way Five Flags races for me, so I feel good getting to the corners and kind of hooking around, and yeah, that was fun racing up through the field there. I was hoping to get up to James, but not enough time and not enough tire.
Yeah, I'm probably sure you're going to be sitting there hoping. You were probably hoping for that caution once you got to second.
Yeah, I wasn't sure towards the end of the race there when people, when there was tire issues. I was like, man, if a caution happens, can we actually finish the race with the tire?
Yeah, that's always one thing with these cars that I'm really learning on. It's just the tire wear, just having to have that mindset of 100 laps. You don't have an extra set of tires. Like it just, you got to keep that in the back of your mind. And you see like half the field seem to blow their right front by the end of that race. So with that being said, just want to say congratulations to second place finish tonight. Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Luke Mansky Racing and Performance. I want to thank you guys up in the booth and all the racers I race with. I love coming here every Saturday and can't wait to race next time.
All right, awesome. That is your second place finisher, Trey Bloom. Soup, who do you got for third?
I get to talk to the Adelaide Blade, hailing from down under. He started in 8th position, worked his way up to 3rd, but I think that's really not the story of the race. 8th, Ed, you got to be happy with that result, eh?
Mate, I'm pretty happy with that one, yeah. It didn't look like it was going to happen for a while there. Everything was looking a bit dodgy, but yeah, got there in the end.
It was dodgy, but then we were watching guys. We've seen it before in the late models that when the tire falls off, they'll blow. Were you close? Were you worried about getting to the end?
I mean, not really. I was sort of aware that was going to be an issue from the very start. So, starting on the outside, deep in the mid-pack, I'm like, I'm just going to ride for a while and try to manage it as best as I could. And I kind of slotted in behind Todd, and we were just kind of riding along together, just saving our stuff and everything else. And then I let Feemster by because he was coming up quite quickly, and then he made quite an easy move on Todd, and I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe I can have a run at him. So had a run at Todd, and of course we just happened to be side by side at the point that Myers got turned up front. And, I couldn't go to the outside because Todd was there, and I ended up getting bookended front and rear. And I'm just sitting there just going, oh, man, there's nothing worse than when you're trying to play the long game, look after your stuff, you just kind of sat there in the mid-pack, and then something happens to you and you don't get to see that play out. But, yeah, didn't know what the car was going to be like when we took off on the next restart. It looked pretty bad there for a while. And then, everybody started to come back to me, and I just started picking them off and wound up P3. So, yeah, thrilled with it, man.
It was fun to watch you at the very end be very competitive. Well done. We hope to get to see a race in all of them. You're making a good run on the points. Well done. We'll see you down the road.
Thanks a lot, sir. Appreciate you.
Ed Foster, 3rd place tonight. Well, that's going to do it for us. Let's quickly talk about what's coming up here on VGN. Too many things to really go through. Look at that. We'll show you the next 4. We'll be back for this series next time. I don't know where it is. Where are we going? I don't know. One of those spots we're going there. We'll be back. We have stuff on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays. We do this thing 8 days a week now. All those broadcasts, future and past ones, all a production of the Virtual Grid Network. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast tonight. On behalf of all the guys, little faces you see on the screen right now, if you didn't like it, we'll try to do better next time. Until then, have fun storming the castle.